Life often feels like a battleground, doesn't it? But for some of you watching right now, it's deeper than that. You feel it in your soul, a pull, a responsibility, and at times an unshakable burden. That's because you're not just anyone. You are one of the chosen ones, destined for something extraordinary. This video isn't just another dive into spirituality. It's a beacon for those who know they've been called for a higher purpose but face relentless challenges along the way. Today, we'll uncover the unseen forces that shape your journey, both the divine blessings and the spiritual attacks that threaten to derail you. Together, we'll explore how to protect your energy, break free from toxic influences, and ascend to your highest self. Before we dive deep, let me ask you, have you ever felt like the world was conspiring against you right when you were on the verge of a breakthrough? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because your story might resonate with someone else who needs it. And don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss this empowering journey. Now, let's get into it. Being chosen is not a coincidence. It's not random. It's a divine calling, a spiritual fingerprint placed on your soul before you even took your first breath. You've likely felt it for as long as you can remember. Maybe it's a sense of purpose, an inner knowing that you're meant to do more, to be more. But with that calling comes challenges, dark forces, whether you interpret them as external entities or internal battles, seem to find their way into your life. It's like being a lighthouse in a storm. The light you emit draws attention, both good and bad. What we often overlook is that this warfare isn't physical. It's energetic. It plays out in subtle ways. A series of setbacks, people in your life who seem supportive but secretly drain you, or even moments of intense self-doubt and confusion. You're not crazy. These are spiritual attacks aimed at destabilizing you. The enemy, call it darkness, negative energy, or lower vibrations, doesn't want you to rise. Why? Because your light disrupts the status quo. But here's the truth, you are never unarmed. You've been given tools, divine protection, and a connection to something far greater than this physical realm. It starts with awareness, understanding that these challenges are not random, but part of the process can be your first line of defense. Imagine for a moment a day where everything feels off. You wake up feeling heavy, drained, even though you slept 8 hours. You encounter people who push your buttons or situations that feel designed to test you. That's no coincidence. These are spiritual attacks manifesting in your everyday life. And while they may feel overwhelming, the first step is recognizing them for what they are. So, how do you defend yourself in this spiritual battlefield? It begins with boundaries, firm, unshakable boundaries that protect your peace and energy. Simple, right? But let's be real. It's easier said than done. Boundaries often mean saying no, walking away, and even cutting ties with people you thought would be in your life forever. Here's where things get tricky. Some of the most draining people in your life might not even realize they're doing it. These are what we call energy vampires. They're drawn to your light like moths to a flame, feeding off your positivity, your generosity, and your spirit. They leave you feeling depleted, questioning yourself, and doubting your worth. The painful part? Sometimes these vampires are the people closest to you, family, friends, even partners. Recognizing these toxic ties is crucial. Think of it like decluttering your spiritual closet. It's not easy and it's often messy, but it's necessary. Holding on to these relationships out of guilt or fear of being alone only keeps you anchored in lower vibrations. And here's the kicker. Cutting ties isn't cruel. It's an act of self-love and preservation. You can love someone and still release them from your life if their presence hinders your growth. When you do, you create space for something greater, for your ascension. Ascension isn't a destination. It's a process, a shedding of layers that no longer serve you. Old beliefs, outdated habits, and toxic relationships must fall away to make room for your highest self to emerge. But let's be honest, ascension isn't glamorous. It's messy. It's lonely. It requires facing your deepest fears, healing old wounds, and embracing a version of yourself that may feel unfamiliar at first. Think of a caterpillar in its cocoon. It must dissolve completely before transforming into a butterfly. That's what ascension feels like, a complete dissolution of the old you, so the new you can soar. It's not easy, but it's worth it. And here's the best part, you're not doing it alone. Divine forces are guiding you every step of the way, even when you can't see them. As you ascend, you'll notice something else. Not everyone will celebrate your growth. Some will envy it, try to sabotage it, or even act as if they don't see it. This is where discernment becomes your superpower. Not everyone deserves access to your energy, your plans, or your dreams. Move in silence. Protect your energy fiercely, because it's your most valuable currency. Envy and manipulation often come from the most unexpected places, which is why vigilance is key. Pay attention to how people react to your wins, your boundaries, and your growth. True allies will cheer you on. Energy vampires will guilt-trip you, question your motives, or try to bring you back down to their level. But here's the secret. The more you protect your energy, the stronger it becomes. The stronger it becomes, the more aligned you are with your purpose. And the more aligned you are, the less power these dark forces have over you. Your light is your shield. Use it wisely. Stay with me, because in the next section, we're diving into actionable steps to fortify your spiritual armor and accelerate your journey to becoming the unstoppable force you were destined to be. Now that we've laid the foundation, let's talk about action, real, practical steps to fortify your spiritual armor and navigate this divine journey with clarity and strength. You've heard the phrase, preparation is half the battle, right? In spiritual warfare, preparation is everything. It's not just about reacting to challenges, but proactively building resilience, so you can face them with confidence and grace. Let's start with the tools you already have. Prayer, meditation, and practices like smudging with sage or Palo Santo aren't just rituals. They're powerful forms of energetic cleansing and protection. When you pray or meditate, you align yourself with higher frequencies, creating a protective barrier around your energy. Think of it like tuning a radio. If you're tuned to a high-frequency station, the static from lower vibrations can't reach you. Sage, for example, has been used for centuries to clear negative energy. It's not just symbolic, it's science. Burning sage releases ions into the air, neutralizing harmful energies in your space. But remember, clearing your environment is only one piece of the puzzle. Your inner world, your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs needs cleansing too. This is where meditation becomes your superpower. When you meditate, you quiet the noise of the outside world and reconnect with your inner self. It's a chance to observe your thoughts without judgment, to release what no longer serves you, and to recharge your spiritual battery. Even just 10 minutes a day can make a profound difference. But let's take it deeper. One of the most underrated tools for spiritual defense is visualization. Close your eyes and imagine yourself surrounded by a radiant white light, impenetrable and infinite. This isn't just a mental exercise, it's a form of energetic shielding. The more vividly you can imagine this light, the stronger your energetic field becomes. This technique is especially useful before entering environments or interactions where you know your energy might be tested. Now, let's talk about boundaries again, because this can't be overstated. Boundaries are the line between who you are and who the world wants you to be. They're not just for keeping toxic people out, they're for keeping your peace in. One of the best ways to enforce boundaries is through the power of your voice. You don't need to explain or justify your decisions. A simple no is enough. It's not rude, it's self-respect. But what about those moments when you feel guilty, when you worry that setting a boundary might hurt someone else? Here's a reframe. Boundaries aren't walls, they're gates. They let the right energy in and keep the wrong energy out. By setting boundaries, you're teaching others how to treat you while also giving yourself a space to grow and thrive. Of course, recognizing toxic energy isn't always straightforward. That's where self-reflection comes in. After spending time with someone, ask yourself, do I feel uplifted or drained, energized or exhausted? Your body knows the truth even when your mind tries to rationalize it. Listen to those signals, they're your compass. Now, let's address One of the hardest parts of this journey, letting go. Breaking free from toxic ties isn't just about cutting off the obvious energy vampires. It's about releasing anything that anchors you in negativity. This could be old habits, limiting beliefs, or even environments that no longer align with your growth. Letting go often feels like loss, and that's okay. It's natural to grieve what was, even if it wasn't serving you. But remember, every time you release something that weighs you down, you create space for something better to enter. It's like cleaning out a closet. At first, it feels like chaos, piles of things everywhere. But once you're done, you're left with clarity and room to breathe. Letting go also requires forgiveness, not for them, but for you. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning what happened. It means freeing yourself from the emotional chains that keep you tethered to the past. It's about reclaiming your power, your peace, and your ability to move forward without carrying the weight of resentment. As you let go, you'll notice a shift. Your vibration will start to rise. You'll feel lighter, clearer, more in tune with your purpose. This is the beginning of ascension, the shedding of old layers, and the stepping into your higher self. But ascension isn't a one-time event. It's a continuous process of alignment. Alignment means living in harmony with your truth. It means making choices that reflect your values, your purpose, and your vision for the future. It's about saying yes to what fuels your soul and no to what drains it. And here's the beautiful thing. The more aligned you are, the more effortlessly opportunities and blessings flow into your life. But don't be fooled, ascension isn't without its challenges. The higher you climb, the stronger the winds. You will face tests designed to strengthen you, distractions meant to derail you, and people who can't handle your light. This is where discernment becomes critical. Not everyone who claps for you is in your corner. Some people will celebrate your growth only to sabotage it later. Pay attention to subtle cues, their tone, their body language, their energy. Trust your intuition. It's a divine gift that will never steer you wrong. And while you're guarding your energy from others, don't forget to guard it from yourself. Negative self-talk, procrastination, and fear are just as draining as any external force. Be mindful of your inner dialogue. Replace self-criticism with self-compassion, doubt with faith, and fear with action. As you continue this journey, remember that you are divinely protected. You are not alone. Your path, though challenging, is guided by forces far greater than you can imagine. Every obstacle you face is not a punishment but a lesson, a stepping stone to becoming the powerful being you were always meant to be. Stay with me, because next, we'll explore how to maintain this momentum and ensure that your growth isn't just a phase, but a permanent transformation. Let's keep building this spiritual fortress together. Transformation is a journey, not a destination. As you rise into alignment with your higher self, maintaining that momentum becomes just as important as initiating it. Spiritual growth is like tending to a fire. It requires consistent care, attention, and the right fuel. Let's explore how to ensure that the progress you've made isn't temporary, but becomes the foundation of a new way of living. One of the most powerful practices you can adopt is daily gratitude. Gratitude is more than just a feel-good exercise, it's a vibrational shift. When you focus on what you're thankful for, you align yourself with abundance rather than lack. Even in the midst of challenges, finding small moments of gratitude can be transformative. Think about it, every time you express genuine gratitude, you're essentially telling the universe, I see and appreciate your blessings. I'm ready for more. Start your day with a gratitude practice. Before you even reach for your phone, take a moment to list 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be grand. Sometimes the smallest blessings, like a good night's sleep or a sunny morning, carry the most power. This simple ritual not only sets the tone for your day, but also acts as a shield, grounding you in positivity and fortifying your energy against negativity. But gratitude alone isn't enough. You also need to protect your energy vigilantly. Think of your energy as a bank account. Every interaction, thought, or activity is either a deposit or a withdrawal. If you're constantly giving without replenishing, you'll find yourself spiritually bankrupt. This is why energy preservation is critical. One effective way to safeguard your energy is to move in silence. Not every dream, goal, or breakthrough needs to be shared with the world. Sometimes your silence is your greatest strength. When you keep your plans to yourself, you minimize the risk of interference, whether intentional or not. It's not about secrecy, it's about wisdom. By guarding your vision, you allow it to grow without external judgment, doubt, or envy dimming its light. This brings us to discernment. Discernment is your spiritual filter, the ability to separate what aligns with your purpose from what distracts you from it. It's not just about identifying toxic people or situations, it's about recognizing when something feels off, even if you can't pinpoint why. Trust that feeling. Your intuition is an extension of your divine connection, and it often knows the truth before your mind catches up. Here's a practical tip for sharpening your discernment: practice stillness. In a world that glorifies busyness, stillness is revolutionary. Set aside time each day to simply be. No distractions, no agenda, just you and your inner voice. This practice not only strengthens your intuition, but also helps you recalibrate your energy, ensuring you're making decisions from a place of clarity rather than chaos. As you preserve your energy, you'll start to notice subtle changes in your environment. People who once drained you may fall away naturally. Situations that once triggered you will lose their power. This isn't a coincidence, it's the result of your vibrational shift. When you operate at a higher frequency, anything that doesn't match that frequency is either forced to rise or fall away. This process can be bittersweet, especially when it involves people you care about. But remember, letting go doesn't mean you stop loving them. It means you start loving yourself enough to prioritize your well-being. Now, let's talk about balance. Because spiritual growth isn't about rejecting the physical world, it's about integrating the spiritual and the physical in harmony. You're not here to escape this life, you're here to elevate it. This means finding joy in the mundane, purpose in the routine, and divinity in the everyday. Spirituality isn't confined to meditation cushions or sacred spaces. It's woven into every moment, every choice, every breath. Take, for instance, your relationships. Whether it's with family, friends, or colleagues, every interaction is an opportunity to practice what you've learned. Boundaries, forgiveness, compassion, these aren't just concepts, they're tools to be used daily. When you approach relationships with love and clarity, you not only enrich your life, but also inspire others to do the same. Your growth becomes a ripple, influencing everyone around you in ways you may never fully see. And let's not forget about self-care. Self-care isn't selfish, it's essential. You can't pour from an empty cup, and as someone on this journey, your cup needs to be full. This doesn't just mean bubble baths and spa days, though those are great. True self-care is about nurturing your mind, body, and soul. It's about eating foods that fuel you, surrounding yourself with uplifting energy, and dedicating time to activities that bring you joy. Another key aspect of maintaining your growth is forgiveness, not just of others, but of yourself. Growth is messy. You'll stumble, make mistakes, and sometimes revert to old patterns. That's okay. What matters is that you recognize these moments as opportunities to learn rather than reasons to give up. Be kind to yourself. Speak to yourself with the same compassion you would offer a friend. Remember, progress isn't linear. Some days you'll soar, other days you'll struggle. Both are part of the process. Finally, let's address purpose, because everything we've talked about, protection, boundaries, discernment, ascension, it all leads back to purpose. You weren't chosen to live an ordinary life. You were chosen to shine, to lead, to heal, to inspire. But purpose isn't always about grand gestures or world-changing acts. Sometimes, it's as simple as showing up as your authentic self, living in alignment with your truth, and allowing your light to guide others. Purpose is a journey, not a destination. It evolves as you evolve. What feels like your mission today may shift tomorrow, and that's okay. The key is to stay connected to yourself, to your divine source, and to the path that feels most aligned with your soul. When you do, you'll find that everything else falls into place. In the next part, We'll dive into the ultimate steps for stepping fully into your power and ensuring that your journey not only transforms your life, but leaves a legacy for others to follow. Stay with me. We're just getting to the good part. You've made it this far, and that's not by chance. Every step you've taken on this journey, every boundary you've set, every toxic tie you've cut, every moment of stillness and self-reflection has been preparing you for this, stepping fully into your power. This is where the chosen ones shine. This is where your divine purpose becomes not just an idea, but a living, breathing force in your life. Stepping into your power begins with embracing your authenticity. There's only one you in this universe, and that's not a coincidence, it's a calling. Your quirks, your talents, your story, and even your scars, they all hold value. But here's the thing. Many of us have been conditioned to dim our light, to fit into molds that were never designed for us. It's time to break free from that. When you embrace who you truly are, unapologetically, you give others permission to do the same. Think about it. Have you ever been inspired by someone simply because they were being themselves? That's the kind of ripple effect authenticity creates. When you stand in your truth, your energy speaks louder than words. People may not fully understand your journey, but they'll feel it. They'll see the light in you and be drawn to it. Not because you're trying to impress them, but because you're simply being. But stepping into your power also means taking responsibility for it. Power isn't about control, it's about stewardship. It's about using your gifts not just for your own benefit, but to uplift others. Whether it's through your work, your relationships, or your presence, your light is meant to illuminate the path for others. This doesn't mean you have to be perfect or have it all figured out. It simply means showing up, authentically, consistently, and with intention. One way to harness this power is to align your actions with your purpose. Every decision you make, every step you take, should reflect the life you're trying to build. This requires clarity. Ask yourself, what truly matters to me? What I want to contribute to the world? What legacy do I want to leave behind? These questions aren't just philosophical, they're guideposts. They help you navigate your path with focus and determination. And here's an important truth. Stepping into your power doesn't mean you'll never face fear again. Fear is a natural part of growth. It shows up every time you step out of your comfort zone, every time you challenge the status quo, every time you dare to rise. But fear isn't your enemy, it's your teacher. It points to the areas where you're being called to grow. Instead of running from it, lean into it, acknowledge it, learn from it, and then move forward anyway. This is where faith becomes your anchor. Faith isn't about knowing every step of the journey, it's about trusting that the steps will appear when the time is right. It's about believing that you are divinely guided and protected, even in the face of uncertainty. When fear tries to paralyze you, let faith remind you of who you are and why you're here. And let's talk about courage, because stepping into your power requires a lot of it. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's action despite fear. It's making the tough decisions, having the hard conversations, and staying true to your path even when it feels lonely. Courage is saying yes to your calling and no to anything that distracts you from it. As you embrace your power, you'll notice a shift, not just within yourself, but in how the world responds to you. Opportunities will start to align, connections will feel more meaningful, and your impact will grow. This is the magic of living in alignment. When you're in tune with your purpose, the universe moves to support you. Doors will open where there were once walls, and the right people will enter your life at exactly the right time. But let's be clear, this journey isn't about seeking validation from the outside world. It's about finding it within. It's about knowing deep in your soul that you are enough, that you are worthy, that you are capable of creating the life you've envisioned. External success is simply a reflection of internal alignment. And yet, even as you rise, challenges will continue to appear. This is the duality of being chosen. The higher you climb, the more resistance you'll face. This isn't a punishment, it's a refinement process. Each challenge is an opportunity to deepen your faith, strengthen your resolve, and expand your capacity for growth. The key is to see these obstacles not as roadblocks, but as stepping stones. One of the greatest challenges you'll face is staying grounded. It's easy to get caught up in the pursuit of ascension and lose sight of the present moment. But true power lies in balance, in being both grounded in the now and aligned with the future. This means cultivating a sense of presence in everything you do, whether it's a simple conversation, a daily task, or a moment of quiet reflection. When you're fully present, you're fully alive. Grounding also means nurturing your connection to the physical world. Spend time in nature, move your body, and honor the vessel that carries your spirit. Remember, you're not just a soul having a human experience. You're a human carrying a divine purpose. Taking care of your physical self is a form of honoring that purpose. And finally, as you step fully into your power, don't forget the importance of community. The path of the chosen one may feel solitary at times, but you are never truly alone. There are others on similar journeys, others who understand the challenges and triumphs of walking this path. Seek them out, share your story, learn from theirs. Together, you'll find strength, support, and inspiration. As we bring this journey full circle, remember this: you are not here by accident. You are not ordinary. You are chosen, guided, and deeply loved. The challenges you face are not here to break you, but to shape you. The light you carry is not just for you, but for the world. So, rise boldly, shine brightly, and step fully into the extraordinary being you were always meant to be. If this resonated with you, take a moment to like this video, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs this message. And in the comments, let me know, what's one step you're taking today to protect your energy and step into your power? I'd love to hear your thoughts and cheer you on in your journey. Until next time, keep rising, you've got this. As you've journeyed with me through this video, you've uncovered powerful truths about who you are and why you've faced the challenges you've endured. Let's bring all of this together, anchoring everything you've learned into one final, empowering realization. You are unstoppable when you live in alignment with your divine purpose. Every step you've taken, protecting your energy, setting boundaries, breaking free from toxic ties, and embracing your ascension has been building a foundation. This foundation is unshakable because it's rooted in your authenticity and your connection to the divine. You've learned that being chosen isn't a burden, it's a gift. It's a calling to rise above the noise of the world, to move with intention, and to shine your light unapologetically. But here's what I need you to remember as we conclude. This journey doesn't end here. Growth is a lifelong process, and every step forward will reveal new layers of yourself and your purpose. There will be moments of doubt, moments when the path feels unclear, and moments when the weight of your calling feels too heavy to bear. In those moments, come back to the truths we've explored today. Reconnect with your inner power, your spiritual tools, and your unwavering faith. These are your lifelines, your guiding stars in even the darkest nights. The battles you face are not there to defeat you, they're there to prepare you, to sharpen your discernment, to deepen your resilience, and to fortify your faith. Spiritual warfare is real, but so is divine protection. You are never truly alone, even when it feels like the world is against you. The universe is always conspiring in your favor, guiding you, teaching you, and preparing you for the greatness that lies ahead. As you move forward, step boldly into your power. Speak your truth, protect your peace, and never apologize for the light you bring into this world. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, who celebrate your growth, and who inspire you to keep climbing. Let go of those who drain your energy or pull you away from your purpose. Remember, letting go isn't loss, it's liberation. And don't forget the most important relationship of all, the one you have with yourself. Nurture it, honor it, speak kindly to yourself, especially on the hard days. You're doing the best you can, and that's enough. Your journey is unique, and there's no need to compare it to anyone else's. Trust the timing of your life. Trust the process. Trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it's meant to. As you ascend, you'll inspire others simply by being who you are. Your growth becomes a beacon, showing others that it's possible to rise above their circumstances and embrace their own divine purpose. That's the ripple effect of living authentically. You create change not just in your life, but in the lives of everyone you touch. So, what now? Take a deep breath and ask yourself, what's the next step on my journey? It doesn't have to be monumental. Maybe it's committing to a daily meditation practice, journaling your intentions, or having that tough conversation you've been avoiding. Whatever it is, trust that it's the right step for you in this moment. And then take it, knowing that every small action brings you closer to your highest self. Before we part, I want to leave you with this affirmation. I am chosen, I am protected, and I am rising. My licht is my ziel, and my purpose is my gide. I am aligned, I am enough, and I am unstoppable. Repeat this to yourself whenever you need a reminder of who you are and what you're here to do. If this video has resonated with you, if it sparked something deep within your soul, take a moment to let me know in the comments. What's one realization or takeaway you're carrying forward? And if you haven't already, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this message with someone who needs to hear it. You never know whose life you might change by simply sharing this light. Thank you for being here, for showing up for yourself, and for walking this path of growth and ascension. The world needs your light now more than ever. Keep shining, keep rising, and remember, you are chosen for a reason. Until next time, stay strong, stay grounded, and stay aligned. You've got this.